can, have, and will result in participants facing jail time, serious injury to themselves and their property and their vehicles, and God forbid something worse. And at the same time, endangering innocent and unknowing bystanders. This week marks the beginning of Texas 2K at Houston Raceway Park. It's a streetcar-focused 5-day competition featuring the quickest and fastest streetcars in the world. This event is conducted exclusively in the most controlled and safest environment, surrounded by track officials and a dedicated medical team. TX2K racers are registered to compete from every state in our country, and it represents more than 12 countries across the world. Our partnership with Texas 2K founder and owner Peter Block, which extends more than 7 years, is an extension of our mission to keep street racing off the streets and on the racetrack. We want to be a partner, a part of the solution, rather than a passive observer to this problem. I've got the great privilege to introduce my friend, Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I want to begin by thanking Seth Angel and his team here at Houston Raceway Park for partnering with all of us and hosting this important event. We are grateful for responsible business owners who put the safety of our community front and center. I also want to thank our partners joining me today to stand unified in our efforts to combat dangerous illegal street racing. Joining me here are Chambers County Sheriff Brian Hawthorne, Texas DPS Regional Director Jason Taylor, Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg, Houston Police Department felony arrest on charges that include reckless driving, racing on a highway, and deadly conduct. Made 29 misdemeanor arrests for DWI and other offenses, and our deputies have also seized numerous vehicles that were used to commit these crimes. Like Ricky Bobby, I know some of you just want to go fast. Trust me, I get it. But there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way that's likely to land you in jail and your expensive muscle car at the impound yard. For just $20, Seth Angel and the people here at Houston Raceway Park will let any driver safely race on this track as many times as they want on any Friday night. Responsibly run racetracks like this one are the real proving ground for racers, not our public roadways. If you choose to ignore this advice and race on our public streets, be warned that we are looking for you and we will shut you down before you hurt or kill someone. All of the agents represented here today will be highly visible on the roadways throughout spring break and will be targeting aggressive drivers. To our community, we need your help shutting down street racing. If you know someone who's doing it, report them to your local law enforcement agency. If you're a parent of a young driver and you see them frequently changing out tires on their vehicle, that's a good sign they're racing. Put a stop to it. If you're a race fan, come out here to watch. Don't give illegal racers an audience. We have worked too many cases where bystanders were maimed or killed by reckless drivers trying to put on a show. We're asking everyone listening, keep the racing on and on the track and off the roads. Thank you. Now I want to introduce some of our key leaders that are here so that they could say a few words from their perspective. First, Chambers County Sheriff Brian Hawthorne. Sheriff?
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. I'm Brian Hawthorne. I'm the Chambers County Sheriff. First of all, I want to say that Chambers County is proud to have Houston Raceway Park in our jurisdiction, and I am proud to work with Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez and the Houston Police Department and all the surrounding police agencies to combat street racing. Street racing has been a problem not only in Harris County, but also in Chambers County. We welcome the attendance and the street racers to come out to the racetrack and race. We're proud to have you, but what we don't welcome is the street racing after the event. I think it's important for everyone to know that the Chambers County District Attorney Cheryl Leak, who will stand beside District Attorney Kim Ogg and making sure that street racers are prosecuted. So please remember, the Chambers County Jail has room for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Now I want to call up Texas DPS Regional Director Jason Taylor. Jason?
Thank you, Seth, for having us. Thank you, both sheriffs, for your remarks. They're right on point. The Texas Department of Public Safety is encouraging those, as has already been stated, who have a passion for racing to enjoy that passion and take advantage of it here at this event and other sanctioned events. Dangerous street racing has no place on our public roadways. You never know when an individual, a family, is going to make a U-turn in front of a race or enter a highway in front of a race, and as we know the damage that occurs from that and the harm that transpires. So every week, our DPS aircraft, along with the HPD and Sheriff's Office aircraft, we do patrol flights daily, and those patrol flights are out to combat violent crime and assist with calls for service. But it never fails. Every week, sometimes every night, our aircraft, both fixed wing and rotary, are coming across these street races. They're easy to spot from the air. These vehicles traveling so fast. So we not only have our assets on the ground, but our air assets from 3 different agencies that are attempting to combat these issues on our roadways. In addition, DPS has added, as the sheriff stated, additional unmarked assets to this region, and we will be out patrolling the roadways here in Chambers, Harris, Montgomery, Fort Bend counties, attempting to put a stop to these illegal races. So in closing, I hope that those who wish to participate in these sanctioned events in the coming days, you have a good time. Come out here with your family, where the spectators are safe. They're up in the bleachers. There's no risk of harm, but keep it off of our public roadways. And DPS and our partners will be out there. We have a task force running out of the northwest side of Harris County, which will encompasses several constables' offices, KDPD, Jersey Village, the Sheriff's Office, HPD, DPS, and you name it. Well, and in addition to what's going on out here in Chambers County, we will be out in force. So keep an eye out for us, because we'll be keeping an eye out for you. Thank you, and be safe.
Thank you, Jason. Next, we have Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg.
Well, good morning. I'm Kim Ogg, the Harris County District Attorney. I want to thank Seth Angel for this public-private partnership. Crime prevention is as much a community responsibility as it is a law enforcement responsibility. And the Harris County District Attorney's Office stands ready to prosecute anybody willing to put other people's lives at risk simply for a fast car thrill or an adrenaline rush. So flybys are being prosecuted, street takeovers are being prosecuted, street racing is being prosecuted. And all of these crimes not only can land you in jail or prison, but you may have to live with the consequences of deadly actions that are foreseeable from this kind of activity. Most people think of criminals as folks who plan crimes out, that kind of thing, but it's just as criminal to make the decision to endanger innocent lives by street racing, especially when you have an alternative as cool as this racetrack. So, we recognize exactly how dangerous the types of street crimes are that we're seeing, because we have to deal with the surviving family members of those who are seriously injured and killed through street racing, flybys, and other at-risk car crimes. It's a terrible trend. It's not a new crime, but it is one that unfortunately we're seeing and hearing every day and night, not just in the city of Houston, but in all the greater Houston area. So with the county safety as my #1 priority, I'm proud to work with all of these law enforcement agencies and support them. And we're not just doing it through traditional law enforcement arrest, charge, and prosecute. We're seizing cars. And these cars are valuable. And we move from the DA's office with other DAs to forfeit the instruments of crime. And that's what these cars are and can be. So while the adrenaline is exciting, it's not so great then to have to re-buy your car back once it's been lawfully seized and forfeited as an instrument of a crime. Since the start of this joint project, we have seen 86 cars seized by law enforcement agencies, and we've moved to forfeit those cars. And so far, 6 have been finally and totally forfeited. 15 resulted in settlements with the car owners, and 47 of those cases remain pending, and we've returned 18. We've also filed 36 racing charges, 2 reckless driving charges, 2 deadly conduct charges, and engaging in organized crime. And this goes back to what people think about who criminals really are. Let me explain. If you're involved in putting together racing, if you're one of the folks out there advertising on the internet, if you're encouraging, soliciting, directing, you can be a party to some of these crimes, and we will come after you when the evidence supports it. So please, if you're the parent of a young person, we know that this is an attractive nuisance, that the types of street events that pop up on your kids' phones can be deadly. Get them out here to something legal and fun. Let's take racing to its natural place, a legal track where everybody's safe. And if you choose to do otherwise, you can count on going to jail and likely having your car seized and perhaps forfeited when we have the evidence to back it up. Thank you so much.
Next, Houston Police Department Assistant Chief Michael Skiller.
I'm Michael Skillner, Assistant Chief of the Houston Police Department, and just like my co-workers here, we want to thank Seth Angel for making this track available for legal racing. But like we know, all too often after the event's over, it spills into illegal racing in the county and in the city, something that we have all been taking very seriously. Just like our brethren at the Harris County Sheriff's Office, we too have created a task force just to address this. In fact, with the help of District Attorney Ogg, just last month in February, we made 87 arrests related to street racing and seized 21 vehicles. So we're doing all we can to address this problem. This weekend for the event, just HPD will have close to 150 officers on our streets monitoring, waiting to find if this happens and arrest those involved. Along with the other partners back here, the KDPD is also involved, Harris County Precinct 5 is also involved, Jersey Village is also involved, and I apologize if I've left out any others. But just know that we take this very seriously and we will be out in force addressing this. So keep it here, keep it legal, everybody have a great time. But once you leave here, please know that it's over and don't participate in this on our streets.
Thank you, Assistant Chief. And one of our key partners is also the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office, and Chief Christensen has been, or Fire Marshal Christensen's been very, very helpful. And we have Chief Deputy Chat Shaw that's here, and so we just want to thank him for participating and being here. They're always involved. This really is a a collaborative effort. You've heard from a number of agencies and others that aren't here today, but that's how important this is. This is really a regional issue. Actually, nationally, it's happening all across the country, and we're really trying to do something about it here in Chambers County and also Harris County and other surrounding areas. So it's real important that we all stand together and united on this front. And also want to add that many times, in addition to the illegal street racing activity, the street racing, the street takeovers, the stunts that are performed, it's also not uncommon to find narcotics and also even weapons during some of these arrests. So I also want to point that out, because many times people say, well, these are just kids that are out having fun, and no, they're really putting other people in harm's way, and sometimes it really is connected to other criminal activity. So it's really important that we really put our enforcement efforts together to address this. So really happy to see everyone here united, and really thank everyone for the collaboration. And I'd be remiss not to thank our partners, members here at the Harris County Sheriff's Office that are out there on the front lines. Again, we have a new traffic crimes unit. We have here to my left, we have Captain McConnell that oversees it, Sergeant Carroll that's overseeing the unit itself, Lieutenant Chang that's here, and also we have Susan Cotter, a major that's over patrol, Chief Deputy Takika, and team members here from our traffic crimes unit. So, do we have any questions? Are we doing it in Spanish as well?
We could do it after.
Okay, afterwards. Okay.
So I just kind of wanted to ask you, with COVID and lockdowns and quarantines and everything, do you expect it to be worse this year?
Well, I think last year was really the peak. We're optimistic with the vaccines now being deployed and more people getting them in arms and what have you, that hopefully this year's better than the last. I'm not a medical expert, but we know we still have variants out in the community. And so,
I don't mean COVID-wise.
Yeah.
I mean just that it's going to urge more people to just want to get out and do it.
oh yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. That because things are getting better, I think there's a natural tendency for people to get out. That's what we saw, an uptick in a lot of this activity, a lot of aggressive driving, road rage type incidents, more street racing seemed to happen last year. So we think as things open up, more people are just going to be out there being reckless. So we do anticipate that an uptick could happen. That's why we want to try to be preventive, and we're letting people know. You heard our DA give a very strong statement about the outcomes that we're seeing with some of the vehicles that were legally going through seizure proceedings and all of that. So we've laid it out. It's not a surprise. We let people know we're going to be out there and that we're targeting this type of behavior.
You guys always ask for community help. If they see something, who can they call, or what number?
Yeah, well, we want them to obviously still continue to call their local police agencies as well. I know at the Harris County Sheriff's Office, we also have a dedicated email that they could email with, especially if they have tips that they can tell us, identify who the organizers are, any type of that activity. We want to know if they have specific information. It always helps. We tend to already know most of the commonly used corridors, but if there's still others that are popping up, and this pops up all over our different counties. I know Sheriff Hawthorne says it's happening in Chambers as well. Even in localized communities, there's different streets that aren't even the highways where this is happening. Captain McConnell, I know that we have a dedicated email. Is it traffic crimes?
Traffic crimes tips at Sheriff.
Yeah, traffic crimes tips at sheriff.hctx.net to report this. And so we do have a dedicated line, but they could also call their local authorities and also Crime Stoppers as well to report any tips on any of the road rage incidents, more egregious type crimes.
I have a question from Channel 2. They want to know about the specific topic, the incident that happened for the family of 3.
Yeah.
And the officer released
Sure.
the suspect, and then they
Yeah.
cover that.
I'm going to do Spanish, and I'll talk about that incident separately right after this. Happy to answer that one. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Well, thank you all very much. Thanks again for hosting this, and look forward to continuing to partner with you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
just